So we also run into Higgins earlier, in the day in Ted's office, the Diamond Dogs were there, including Higgins. They asked him what he was up to. He mentioned that some of the players that aren't, home for the holidays, they're far away from their home countries. He'll have a few of them, two or three of them over, for Christmas dinner. And boy, it really gets out of hand at the Higgins household
Oh,
this
it was
year.
great. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. It was like the funniest thing to me was Sam shows up early because they just got done eating or doing their gifts. And they're getting ready to clean up the house and get ready for the open house. And Sam's at the door. And he's like, I was in the neighborhood, but I kind of have to pee.
Right. Yeah, and they started talking about the whole Dubai Air thing, and his son was like, F him, and Sam kind of looks at Higgins like, is that okay? And Higgins was like, yeah, F him. But they kind of got into it, and Sam had to remind him that he had to pee. That was a really funny scene. And just over and over, like the doorbell ringing, and throughout the rest of
Yeah.
the day, just
Well,
more and
Sam,
more
even
players
as
showing
much
up.
as like helping clean up the house, and
Yeah.
then the interaction between Sam and the young kid about Santa, that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like as much as Sam was kind of a secondary character in the first season,
Mm-hmm.
as much as a character in the forefront this season. And
Right.
I think it's phenomenal on what he's doing. His reaction, he never skips a beat. He kind
Mm-hmm.
of has that same like mentality as Ted does. So
Yeah.
it fits the show perfectly. And he always has some type of answer, some type of smile on his face that always fits, whatever situation he's in.
Yeah, he fits the Lasso frame of mind, that completely. This is almost becoming, the Ted Lasso experience, or the type of team or the environment. It's actually, it's kind of spreading into the real world too, where I'm hearing of actual coaches of teams like playing episodes of Ted Lasso for the team, and the positivity virus is spreading. I guess. Oh, I shouldn't put too much COVID. Never mind. Never mind.
Dude,
Anyway.
I was like, where are we going with this? I don't know how to get out of this
But
one.
yeah, so Danny Rojas comes over. He brings alcohol, tequila that Higgins' wife
Well,
shares some
yeah,
with
he said
him.
you could add tequila to this. She opens up, smells like I think there's already some in there.
Yeah, and Danny Rojas is always beaming. So basically, it seems like it's almost the whole entire team that wasn't able to be home for Christmas this
Yeah.
year, and they
At
dropped by
first,
Higgins.
I thought there was one glaring absence.
Oh,
But
Jamie.
but then I thought about it. Jamie is from the area, so he would have family to go to. So
Right.
it really wasn't an absence for him not being there because he was with other members of his own family, where these players would have been if they were local.
Yeah, I think Jamie's excused. You're right. I actually thought about that too. As more and more players started showing up, I thought maybe that would be mentioned. But yeah, you're right. You can kind of explain that away. I don't know the French guy's name. He's been not a prominent character, but he's been around since season one. The
It
guy
comes
who
with a
brought,
date.
yeah, he came with a date. Who one of Higgins' boys was just infatuated with
Just
the
kind
whole
of
time.
googling over while she was like eating that chocolate stick,
Yeah,
kind of essentially.
yeah. And it's
uh,
funny is so many of the players showed up that he didn't even know where everybody was going to sit for Christmas dinner. And I thought it was great, that panning shot from Higgins at the end of the table, panning all the way down to where basically they lined up their dining room table and like a card table, like a
a
poker table with a
surfboard.
surfboard in between, his son's gift for Christmas. And they were just all lined
Oh,
up.
that was funny. It was Danny Rojas and his wife at the end of the table doing shots.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. And Higgins has a line, where they're about to eat dinner, about just, here's to the family that we can't be with, the family that we make, and to Richmond,
In Richmond.
yeah, AFC Richmond. So
Let's
you're
check
right.
this.
He kind of takes that whole, that positivity, that feeling, that culture that they're creating in the locker room and stuff, and brings it home.
Let's check out the scene you were just talking about here.
I know you would have preferred to have been with them, but it was truly an honor to have you with us to share our traditions and help make a few new ones. To the family we're born with, and to the family we make along the way, and, most importantly, to Richmond!
Yeah.
I
was
like
nice.
like you were saying before. I love that because I feel like that's the heart. Even Higgins' character has come such a long way
Mm-hmm.
from when we first met him because he was like stuck in there's a certain spot where he didn't like the team, he didn't like the owner, he didn't like anything that he was going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not
We
the only
love the
ones
scene too.
that's enjoyed that one there. But it was just, you see the lasso effect. We've talked about before.
Right.
I don't call it, Richmond. I mean, yeah, it's AFC Richmond, but it's the Lasso family.
Right.
And the kids are inside eating, and what happens? The parents show up at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Both Ted and Rebecca. I kind of figured they're the figureheads of the family.
Right.
And then you have everyone else that's kind of underneath them that are, the kids are doing their own thing. They're out there, having Nerf battles in the house.
Yeah.
With Danny Rojas is behind one of the chairs, waiting for one of the kids to come around, and they ambush them. It was that whole. It felt like a family environment. Like there was nothing. I didn't feel like any of it was superficial, and I didn't feel like any of it was really even forced.
Right.
During that scene.
Yeah, you could tell that this was a special Christmas. This is one that the players would remember, and Higgins' family would remember, and Rebecca herself. I mean, she foregoed going to Elton John's party just to show up at Higgins' place and start singing outside. And that's how the episode ends. They're all kind of dancing in the street.